Hello everybody, this is going to be my Notion tour. I've been using Notion for probably 3 years now, and I know, just like everybody else knows, that Notion can be quite tricky at first, but after watching many hours of YouTube videos, I have kind of gotten the hang of it, and I always just kind of wanted to make it myself because I am very particular about how I use certain things. So I just wanted to be able to personalize it, and in order to do that, you kind of have to learn Notion. So now that I have created my own version of it, I just wanted to share it with everybody else. This is my homepage, and for me, I wanted Notion to be simple and effective. So for me, I felt that I needed to have a planner to plan my weeks and my months. I needed to have a place where I was able to have a vision board and set goals. And then I needed to have different pages that I used regularly. So I always like to do my monthly finances in a Notion page. For health, I like to meal prep. So I wanted to just break it down into 3 different sections. So over here, I've got my planner page, I've got my 2024 goals page, and then this database has the 6 different areas that I break life into. So I've got my career, finances, health, hobbies, personal growth, and relationships. Then if you scroll down, just to fill up the homepage more, I have this little section which has all the days of the week. I kind of just put down what I do every single day. So Mondays, every Monday I meal prep and I'll water my plants. Tuesdays, I have a lot of work to do for my job. So Tuesdays I focus on making sure I do my job to the best of my ability, and then so on and so forth. So this is just kind of an overview of the week, but I don't really have to look at this every day. This is a database that I have pulled from the 2024 goals page. It shows my projects and my actions that I need to do. So I have, for me to do my to-do lists to get closer to my goals, I've got goals, which are a very big goal, whether it be to, build a business, learn a language, whatever. And then you break that down into projects, which are little things that you can do, but still those projects need to be broken down into actions. So you've got goals broken down into projects, broken down into actions, and actions to me it's one task that you can check off. And then speaking of goals, this is just an overview of all the goals that I have, so that way I can always see them in multiple areas to always remind myself of what I want to accomplish. And they can always change and be adjusted, but this is just my homepage so that I just have a nice beginning to kind of look at that to me is aesthetically pleasing but not too overwhelming. So this is the planner page, and as soon as you click planner on my homepage, this is where it brings you to, and then you don't have to click into another page if you don't need to, but you always can if you need to look at things more in depth. So for example, this page has all 52 weeks of the year, and if you want to look at the whole year, all 52 weeks of what you did or things that you've accomplished, books that you've read, you can drill into that. But if you don't want to, then you can just keep everything on this front page, and you should be able to fill in everything that is to date. So for example, this is the daily table. You can come in every morning and you can fill this out. You can fill in your sleep, your recovery. I have a watch that keeps track of my sleep. And then you can put in how you slept, your main intention, how your mood was. That's just like the table view, but what I typically do is I will drill into the actual line so that I can see all of it as a whole. So once you drill into that open button, this is what it'll pull up. So it's again got the sleep recovery, how did you sleep, your main intention, your tarot card, I like astrology, and then today's moods. So then I'll come down here and I'll do my morning affirmations, and then at night I'll check back in and I'll just write what the best part of the day was, what I did today for a better tomorrow, and then any daily thoughts that I want to write out. So this is kind of like my 5-minute journal, just Notion version. And then this is the habit tracker. I'm not a huge habit tracking type of person. I don't feel like it's necessary for me to track every day what I do, if I read every day, if I took a shower every day, if I worked out every day. But it's just here because I know a lot of people do like habit trackers, so there's that. And then this is my weekly planning. So I've got every week has its own page in the weekly page, and then you can fill out all of this information every week. I like to just write down what I do every day of the week. I've been doing that for years. Just a quick overview of, did I go work out? Did I hang out with friends? Did I hang out with family? Like, what did I do? So if you drill into it, it just has the days of the week, but this is the main meat of the weekly highlights. I have this linked to the 2024 project, so I can write down what projects I want to do. This is the current book, which is linked to my books page, so I can see how long it's taking me to read books. I like to just write down what my favorite song is for the week, so that way I can kind of go back and see what kind of moods I was in from week to week, and then I just write overall how was the week, and then my favorite part of the week. And then who doesn't use a monthly overview? So this is a full overview of the month, and then these tags, you can break it down, and I have done that because this is very overwhelming. So when I just need to see what am I doing this month, I can go to the events. So I've got, people's birthdays, astrology changes, I'm going on a trip at the end of the month. So those are events and things that I need to go to. Then I've got my money calendar view, and this shows me subscriptions and days that I get paid. And then my last tab is I have a rental property and then my current house, so I have all of the things that come out on a month-to-month basis on that page. And here that is. So I like to have just a monthly overview of what happens on a month-to-month basis, trips I'm going on, finances that are coming out every month, but I like to also break it down so it's not super overwhelming and I can see exactly what I need in each category. So on top of having the monthly calendar, I also have a different monthly page where you can go into and do monthly reviews and also checkoffs. So this is the gallery view of that database, and I have a checkoff for everything that I like to do every month. So I like to look at what is coming up astrologically. I like to plan out how my cycle is going to be. I like to journal, plan out my meals, do my finances, do the monthly review, and then every month I take the pictures off my phone and then categorize them on my computer into different folders. So I will drill into this and show you what I do every month. So this is what it looks like when you drill in, and I've got a link to all of the weeks of the month of March. And then I've got a beginning of the month of what do I need to focus on this month to get closer to my dreams. At the end of the month, a end of the month review. So, when I did the beginning of March, I did the end of February. So February, it's got my favorite memories. How did I grow this month? What was the hardest part this month? And am I proud of this month? If not, what can I do better? And then you can also add a vision board if you want to kind of visually see what goals you're working towards. I don't always do it. I have one for January for like a 2024 vision board, but sometimes if I'm feeling creative and I want to make a vision board, I will. Or if I'm feeling like I need to see what I want to work towards, I'll do it and I can just put it in here. But I pretty much just focus on what do I need to do to get closer, and then end of the month review to look back on the month and just write out, good parts. And then if I feel like I, worked closer to my dreams, I just like little things that are easy to do but are also very meaningful if I want to look back in December and see every month the good memories that I had from each month. It'll help me to just long-term wise remember so much more. Now, this is my 2024 goals page. And again, I've got the 6 different areas of life. And then on the side, I've got my glossary. So I've got a vision board. I've got the life areas, which is just a page to hold the database so that I can break down, my life into 6 areas and put the database on the home page. I've got my everyday to-do list. If I'm have a lot of random things that I need to do and I just need to write it out, I will put it in there. I've got a master to-do list, which holds these 3 pages, my goals, projects, and actions that were on my homepage. Again, this is just where all those databases are put. So the master to-do list has them all broken down, but each of these 3 pages is just the table for the goals, projects, and actions. And then in the middle here, we've got our 2023 reflection, and then we've got our 2024 dreams. So again, they're just questions and they're a toggle. And you can just fill in what your reflections are from the last year, and then what are your dreams for the next year. And then over here, I just have some more 2024 dreams. I've got, in the year of 2024, I hope to learn more about the path in which I am supposed to follow. So just a very broad, what would you like the year of 2024 to be? And then I've got my non-negotiable. I will be paying off my student loans no matter what this year. That's my non-negotiable. And then I've got some affirmations. If I'm feeling lacking of motivation, then I can always come here, read these, and just kind of look at my goals for the year and get remotivated of what and why I'm doing what I'm doing. This is the database from the planner page of all of the months. So the little gallery view of March. This is all 12 months. And again, if I were to drill into it, it would look like the same thing. It would have all those check marks and then the previous month's reflections and then the next month's goals. And then this is, again, my goals laid out right in front of me, always there for me to see, because I always need to remember what I am working for, why I'm working hard, why I do what I do. If I don't see my goals or know what they are, I'm not going to work towards them. Or it's also just kind of like, hey, remember you wanted to do this. Do you still want to do it? If not, then, get rid of it so that you can focus on something else. So I will show you a few of these pages just so you can kind of see more into my goals. But most of the things you've already seen, just because these pages just hold the tables / the databases to put them out in the open. So we'll go into my vision board first. This is my vision board, and I have it broken down into those 6 areas of life. So I've got health, personal growth, relationships, finances, career, and hobbies. So this is where I go and I brainstorm on this first page. I have the bullets of what my goal is, and then the numbers are for why I want to do it. So I want to meditate daily to be more in tune with my higher self. I want to read more books to gain more knowledge. I want to read daily affirmations to remind myself of all the amazing things about me. And then over here, I just have a little collage that I made in Canva just to bring some visual into this page, just to make it look a little bit more appealing to the eye. But yeah, I just have the 6 areas of life. I write down my goal and then why I want it. And this is kind of how I started to, break down my goals, as I'll show you on the next page, and figure out what those major goals are and how I'm going to break them down into projects and then into actions to get them accomplished. So this is my master to-do list page. This is where I come when I have a goal that I want to accomplish and I need to figure out what projects and actions I need to do to make it happen. So I've got the gallery view, and I only have, I think it's 6 months out of the goals that I want to accomplish, so that I don't feel totally overwhelmed and I know what I need to focus on more regularly. And then I've got my projects. I've got them categorized by the area of life. I've got them linked up to the goal. I've got what quarter I want to accomplish it. Have I started the project, date that I want to complete it. And then down here is the actions. So I've just got the action I need to take, when I need to complete it by, and then what project it's related to, and then just a checkbox. So this is how I find it to be the easiest way to still have something to keep you accountable, but not be totally overwhelming and feel like you have to do so much of planning that you're not really even taking action towards your goal. Because that's the most important thing, is action, not just planning. Planning is nice and it gives you a framework, but the action is what actually makes your dreams come true. So I will show you what it looks like to drill into one of these. This is the house projects goal that I have. These are things that I need to do around the house. So you can start off by your why, and then you can write, describing what it will feel like when this is complete. And then down here is where you can fill in your projects, and then they will also fill in up here. So for me, I need to clean out my garage, sell stuff on Facebook Marketplace, paint the kitchen table, paint the closets, paint the dresser. So as you can see, house projects is a broad goal that I have, and then the projects I need to complete to finish it is, paint the closets, paint the dresser. But then painting a closet, you have to break that down into, sanding, painting, all of those things. So that's how I break it down, and I find it easiest to be able to check things off and feel like I'm accomplishing something, but not overly do it and, lay out everything, but lay out enough in my eyes to make it feel like I am making progress. So that's a quick overview of my master to-do list. I can go into another video and show more in depth of how I connect all these databases and how they all work together. But that obviously will take a little bit more explanation and a little bit more time showing everything. So this is just my tour, but I can make another video later on showing more in depth about how I make this database work together. Okay, so I have showed you how I plan my life. I have showed you how I set my goals and intentions for the year. Now I will show you what one of these different areas of life looks like and how I use everything else for Notion and put it into one of these pages. So this is my finance page, and I have the goals that are for finances in a database right here. So when I drill into my finance page, I see what my current finance goals are, and then I've also got my current projects. So these are the projects that I have. They are connected to the goals. That's what this column is for. It is the finance area of life, what quarter I want it to be completed in, the project status, and then the date. So just a little bit more in depth. You can always hide these columns if you don't need them. So obviously the area of life that I'm in is finances. That was my cat's ear if you saw that. But you could hide this because you really don't need it, because you know that you're in this finance page. So obviously all of these current projects are going to be related. So you would just come over to these dots. The columns are called properties. And then you would just hit this I to hide that column. Now my cat is moving me. So there's just a little bit more information about the tables / databases, because those are really what make Notion so efficient, is that you can create tables with all the information and then you can make it show or not show whatever you need for that specific page. So with this being my finance page, I have this page, which is my money tracker, where I do all of my finances for the entire year. And again, I can do a video on that, going into depth about how I track my finances. And that is the end of my Notion tour. I feel like this is what I have created to be the simplest and least confusing. You're either in the planner page, the 2024 goals page, or you're in one of the 6 areas of life, and you can create a page that is related specifically to that. So, my finances, I've got my money tracker. That's how I track anything that has to do with money for the entire year. So, I hope you enjoyed my Notion tour, and let me know if you have any questions.